Lesson 9, Advanced Compositing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Photoshop the way that our book tells us to. And when we open up our Photoshop by hitting Control-Alt-Shift, we're restoring all of our default preferences. So we're going to go to our Windows button and then go to the PS, Adobe Photoshop, and then hit Control-Alt-Shift to set our settings back to what they're supposed to be. If it asks, when prompted, click yes to delete the Adobe Photoshop file settings. It did not ask me, so I'm not worried about it. And we're going to choose File, Browse and Bridge. We're going to go to the student G drive by clicking on this PC, G drive. We go to Art, Computer Graphics, and then 2018 Photoshop book files, lesson files, and we're on lesson 9. And then double click to open up Monster Makeup. We're going to click the first file on here, bolts, press and hold shift on your keyboard and select the last one, so all of them are selected at once. And we are going to choose Tools, Photoshop, and then load files into Photoshop layers. Alright, once we think everything's been loaded, we're going to double check our layers. So I'm going to go to Windows, Workspace, and then Reset Essentials. And I'm going to click on my layers and make sure everything's been loaded correctly in my layers, which it has. Let's move that over just a little bit so we can see everything more clearly. Now we're going to go to File, Save As. You're going to navigate back to your H drive, go to your Computer Graphics folder, and then go to your Book Tutorials folder. You're going to save it as 09 Working. You do not need to put the extension, and then you're going to hit Save. Hit OK. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can see everything full screen. Okay. And in the Layers panel, drag the monster underscore hair layer to the top of the layer stack. So here's the monster hair. We're going to drag that to the top of the layer stack. Okay. Drag the Frankenstein layer to the bottom of the layer stack. In the Layers panel, Shift, select every layer except the Frankenstein layer. So we'll click on here, and then we're going to hit Shift and select the bottom one, and so all of them are selected except the bottom Frankenstein layer. In the Layers panel, let's see, now we're going to choose Edit, and then Free Transform. Press the Shift key as you drag down from the corner of the selection to resize all of the selected layers about 50% of their original size. Watch the width and height percentages in the options bar. Right here. So I'm realizing I was pressing and holding shift and dragging down and actually going the wrong direction. I think what they want you to do is they want you to drag the top left corner handle, and then I'm pressing and holding shift, and I'm dragging down to 50%. That makes more sense because the mask stuff is not going to fit on the guy. Go down to 50%. Whoops, I let go of shift too soon. Let's try that again. Okay, so I'm going to let go of my mouse first and then let go of shift. Okay, press the commit button or hit enter. And then now we're going to take Frankenstein with our move tool, and we're going to drag him down to the bottom of our page too. Okay. Zoom in so that you can see the head really clearly. No. Hide all of the layers except the green skin. And the Frankenstein. So we want to see the green skin texture and the Frankenstein. And now we're going to use the move tool, and we're going to move this right over this guy's face. Choose Edit. Okay, choose Edit and Free Transform to adjust the fit of the texture to the face. Use the side handles to adjust the width, the bottom, and the top handles to adjust the height, and arrow keys to nudge the entire layer into position. Use the eyes and mouth as a guide. When you've positioned the skin texture, press enter or return to commit your changes. So you just kind of use your best judgment on this. We can move it in a little bit, down a little, up a little. We really want his chin to get aligned. And then you can use your arrow keys and move the entire mask at once as well. Hit enter or commit and save your work. Applying a liquefier filter. Make sure that the green skin texture layer is selected in the Layers panel, and then choose Convert to Smart Object from the Layers panel menu. So here's your Layers panel menu, and we want to go to Convert to Smart Object. So converted it, you know it's a smart object by this little icon right here. Choose Filter, Liquify, okay, so you guys can see that when I try and go to Filter and then Liquify, I have a processing error. So the AIF internal exception, I think this has something to do with my processing card. So I looked it up I just Googled the problem and found a solution. So if I hit Control K, in the meantime I've emailed PHS Tech and told them that my processing card needs to be updated. So, and then I go to Performance, and where it says Use Graphics Processor, I have to temporarily unclick this and then hit OK. And I'm going to try it again. So I'm going to go to Filter, and you may not have to do that thing where you have to hit Control K. Your liquefier, most people in here, I know we had this problem with chapter 5, and most people did not have this problem. I think my computer, and there was one other computer that had this issue. So you may not have had to do all of that. Try it first. Try Liquify, and then after you go to Liquify, you're going to, yours is going to look like this. Okay? I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so you can see it better. Okay? And then in the Liquify dialog box, click the disclosure triangle next to the face aware Liquify to close that group of options. Then on number 4 on page 213, it says select the backdrop. And then choose behind from in the mode menu. Ooh, that looks good. Set the opacity to 75%.